Let's say I'm on that. Yeah, let's go.
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir!
You got that?
Yes, sir!
Here we go.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Police Commissioner Caban and the Police Foundation, I'd like to welcome everyone to Cipriani's for the 2024 State of the NYPD. To begin, I'm going to ask everyone to please rise for the presentation of our nation's colors and the singing of the national anthem by Detective Makia Brown.
1, 2. Detail. Halt. Freeze.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet to wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Detective Brown. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. And to begin, it's now my pleasure to introduce the first speaker of the morning, the President and CEO of Montefiore Medicine and the Chairman of the Board of the New York City Police Foundation, Dr. Phil Oswalt.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning. Lots of concern about my arm. I appreciate all of you, who have asked that. The fact is, I had surgery, rotator cuff surgery at Montefiore, which is the only place to have it. And I asked the doctors what they think happened, and they said to me they'd never seen so much muscle on one person. They think I'm so ripped, and so the muscle had to go somewhere. Ladies and gentlemen, the mayor of the city of New York is here, the Honorable Eric Adams. Please welcome. Thank you, Your Honor, for being here. For over 50 years, the New York City Police Foundation has played a vital role in supporting the NYPD and enhancing public safety, capturing dangerous criminals, seizing illegal firearms, combating terrorism, Gun Stop, Crime Stoppers, international liaisons. These are just a few of the programs we sponsor. After-school tutoring, after-school sports programs, and interactive virtual reality technology that help young people make better choices. These are just a few of the programs we sponsor. Renovating precincts, installing cardiovascular, fitness centers, exercise equipment, blood pressure monitors, wellness centers, emotional support canines, and other programs, all designed to enhance the well-being and mental health of the members of the NYPD. The Executive and Leadership Workshop, the Commanders College, the annual NYPD Women's Conference, the NYPD Summer Youth Employment Program, brand new community wellness centers. And we continue to pilot new technologies, new equipment, bulletproof vests, and new state-of-the-art vehicles, including the brand new state-of-the-art real-time crime center mobile response van, the newest cutting-edge vehicle in the NYPD's fleet. And at a time when the vital work of our city's law enforcement is too often scrutinized and dissected, I'm especially proud that the Police Foundation remains unwavering in our support and commitment to build bridges between law enforcement and the community, and to make New York City a safer, better place to live, to work, and to visit. We're grateful to all our leaders and benefactors who are here this morning, and without whom we could not fulfill our mission. I wish to acknowledge the members of the board of the New York City Police Foundation who are here. Thank you. The amazing staff of the foundation, led by our CEO, Susan Birnbaum, thank you. And several supporters and partners are also here this morning. The book of Isaiah tells us that the work of righteousness shall be peace, and the effect of righteousness, quietness and assurance. And what are the women and men of the NYPD, if not the righteous stewards of our safety, who keep the peace and help the people of this great city have assurance in their city, in their government, and in themselves. I wish to salute the outstanding executive leadership and all the members of the NYPD who are here this morning. Please join me in thanking the NYPD. And I wish to salute our mayor, whose vision for peace and prosperity that they are implementing. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Last summer, Mayor Adams appointed Commissioner Caban to lead the NYPD because he knew him to be a leader who could both keep us safe and make us feel safe. Born and raised in the Bronx, Commissioner Caban has experienced policing from every vantage point. As a son of law enforcement, a brother of law enforcement, and as someone who has seen the transformational power of strong bonds between the police and the community, he's walked a beat. He's been a precinct cop. He's lived a life that has instilled in him a deep sense of empathy. It is what guides his approach to law enforcement. 33 years ago, Eddie Caban answered a call to serve. And today, he's found his calling, a calling to stand firmly in the name of faith, integrity, and safety, a calling to be steadfast in keeping New York City the safest big city in the world, and a calling to continue to inspire the humility, the loyalty, and the vision that we see all around us this morning in this room at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video screen.
Welcome to the stage, Police Commissioner Edward Caban.
Okay, good morning, everyone. And thank you all for being here. And thank you, Dr. Oswald, for that warm introduction. We are all blessed to have you at the top of the Police Foundation. Your leadership, experience, and care on behalf of the NYPD and our great city is felt in all you do. Thank you for being such a strong partner in the mission of public safety. To the trustees and the foundation's amazing staff, President and CEO Susan Birnbaum, Executive Director Greg Roberts, and the whole team, you are unsung heroes, partners in our collective success. Thank you. And speaking of teams, it doesn't get any better than the current NYPD leadership team. Stacked with talent, some have called them the dream team. I'm just grateful that they are all very much my team. Together, we are coming off a year filled with incredible progress. You've all heard the numbers, but they bear repeating. Overall crime, down. Murder, rape, robbery, down. Burglary, shootings, and transit crime, all down in 2023. And that level of success required many hands. And this morning, you will have an opportunity to hear directly from some of those dynamic leaders, all of whom work hard every day to ensure New York City is the safest big city in the nation. I see our mayor, the Honorable Eric Adams, joins us this morning. I don't think the NYPD has ever had a stronger ally in City Hall, a leader who understands the issues, who wore the gun and shield, and who gives us the support we need to do our jobs. We have seen that commitment time and time again, especially over the past few weeks. Thank you for that, and so much more, Mr. Mayor. And to our many other elected officials, partners, and distinguished guests, thank you also for joining us. This morning, we are here to discuss the New York City Police Department. And so, let me just say this from the outset. The state of the NYPD is strong. The actions of New York's finest over the last few weeks alone has been a showcase of incredible bravery, fortitude, and intelligence. Your NYPD officers have responded to hundreds of protests stemming from conflicts happening around the world, and they have done so with care and respect for those who engage in lawful demonstrations, while also taking appropriate action toward those who sought to disrupt the lives of our fellow New Yorkers. You will hear more later on from our Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence, Rebecca Weiner, about events around the globe and how the NYPD is responding to their impact on our city. Rebecca will also be sharing some exciting news with you about our International Liaison Program and some brand new posts that will be coming online shortly. Thanks, as always, to the Foundation's generosity. There have also been multiple instances in which your NYPD officers came to the aid of a person in crisis. In every instance, your officers put themselves in harm's way for the sake of another. And through their training and the compassion that they bring to this job, they save lives. Police officers have a unique ability to change the world, to change a life, one interaction at a time. As police commissioner, I see it all firsthand, and it never ceases to amaze just how devoted our cops are to the vital work and just how often they do make a difference. Just look at police officer Denise Gomez. In 1996, when she was only 2 years old, she was rescued from a burning car by NYPD cops. And now, 26 years later, because of that moment, because of the heroism of those officers, Denise is now a police officer herself, assigned to the 90 precinct in Brooklyn. Their work is now her work, and the legacy of helping others lives on. We often say that nothing about police work is routine, and for good reason. Recently, we have seen NYPD officers respond to 911 calls involving basic arguments among family members that quickly escalate into chaos. In one instance, officers encountered a person being held at knife point, an incredibly tense and dangerous situation. But the officers kept their composure, addressed the threat, and saved another life. Most recently, in East New York, officers found themselves in a violent physical struggle. They were coming to the aid of a domestic violence victim and suddenly found themselves in a fight for their own lives. Despite being hit with gunfire, your cops were able to gain control of the situation, stop the threat, and save additional innocent people. I know we are all grateful they made it home to their families and will be okay. But that type of danger is always a possibility in this line of work. And yet, those who wear the blue uniform suit up every day without hesitation. They go toward the danger like they did 2 weeks ago when a serial attacker was randomly stabbing innocent people in Queens. We marshaled all of our best people to track the suspect down. And while you will hear about our latest advances in technology from both First Deputy Commissioner Tanya Kinsella and Chief of Department Jeff Madry, in this case, it was good old-fashioned detective work that made the difference. Hundreds of interviews, thousands of community contacts, and a relentless search for video would reveal a clue that broke the case open. Remarkably, in less than 24 hours, the NYPD was at the suspect's door, taking a violent criminal into custody and off our streets. This is your NYPD. This is who protects our city. This morning, you will hear from 5 members of my executive staff who will offer a snapshot of some of our most vital work. That work is strongly focused on technology, innovation, intelligence, and outreach. And I often ask myself, What is the common thread that runs through it all? The answer is all of you. The support of the Police Foundation is critical to the success of the NYPD and the state of public safety in New York City. So I'm going to say now and repeat myself many times over, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now overseeing all these bureaus is my good friend, Chief of Department, Jeff Madry.
Welcome to the stage, Chief of Department, Jeffrey Madry.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for being here. I want to thank Mayor Adams and, of course, Commissioner Caban for your leadership and your vision. And to the Police Foundation, we are so deeply appreciative of the unyielding support you have given this department since the 1970s. Last year, we made tremendous strides in the fight against crime. We've been focused on a two-pronged approach, including the acquisition of new technology and, of course, the deployment of our police officers, the men and the women, the heart of this department. From our use of technology such as drones, our DigiDog and our encrypted radios, to the implementation of our many crime-fighting initiatives, our concerted efforts, which includes reinforcing our community and police relations like never before, resulted in a dramatic change for the better. Our neighborhood safety teams, our public safety, our community response teams, they're out there every night in our neighborhoods keeping you safe. They're addressing quality of life concerns, and they're taking illegal guns off the street. When we talk about crime statistics, remember they represent more than just incidents across our city. They represent victims, New Yorkers whose families are infected, sometimes permanently, with their losses. Citywide, our police officers put themselves in harm's way to make our neighborhoods a safer place to live and to work. So let me tell you about some of the results, some of the outputs, the measurements of your NYPD. Last year, our officers made over 4,000 gun arrests. In the last year, for the first time since 2019, we had less than 1,000 shooting incidents in New York City, which amounts to about a 25% decrease. We had 300 fewer shootings than in 2022, 400 less shooting victims than in 2022. And if we go back just to 2020, we had less than 700 shootings, less than 700 people shot. Our murders are down for a second year in a row as well. Last year, we had 386 murders, 52 fewer victims than in 2022, about a 12% decrease. These are lives saved thanks to the hard work of your police officers. How did we get here? These reductions, how did we get here? I spoke about our crime initiatives. Last year, we had a comprehensive summer violence deployment strategy from May to mid-September that was architected by Chief LaPetrie. We saw over a 6% decrease in overall index crimes during that time. And this was during the summer months where we generally see more violence. Shooting incidents in those designated zones were down by 33%. And we kept our foot on the gas in the fall. After the summer, we implemented our holiday deployment zones from September to December. And I'm very proud to say that this deployment resulted in a 44% reduction in shooting incidents in the designated zones. And we stepped up our enforcement for property crimes as well. In 2023, we saw a 15% increase in retail theft arrests. And thanks to your dedicated officers, we pushed down retail theft complaints. In 2023, we also embraced technology to supplement the great work that our officers were doing. For example, we introduced the Star Chase and expanded our use of unmanned aerial vehicles, better known as drones. The Star Chase device is a game changer. By shooting a projectile out of the device, which when it attaches to a vehicle, acts as a trackable GPS, we're able to track stolen or wanted vehicles, effectively mitigating pursuits. Now, many of you have observed cars across the city driving recklessly, not following the law, causing chaos. And this administration has made it a clear point to go after these offenders. But we also want to do that important work as safely as possible. When a car tries to take off on our officers, rather than chase after the vehicle, this technology allows us to fall back and see where the vehicle goes, drastically reducing potential risk to both the public and the police. Last year, we also expanded our use of drone technology. An eye in the sky like we've never had before. These tools are terrific for monitoring large crowds, apprehending suspects trying to evade arrest, as well as giving us an incredible vantage point, one that allows our executives to make smart decisions in real time. We deployed a variety of drones in 2023, such as our small handheld drones, which are they're a little smaller, allowing us to deploy them quickly during an incident. And then we have our tethered drones, which are deployed from the roof of a modified vehicle that we position in a strategic location. And the tether supplies continuous power to the drone, allowing it to hover in position for as long as we need it. The value of these drones were on display this past summer when a pop-up gathering in Union Square went viral. A social media influencer promoted a PlayStation giveaway without warning or without a permit. Thousands of kids swarmed the area of Union Square. And as we began sending out our resources to the area, our drones were sent up as well. Quickly, the drones gave us a bird's eye view of the growing crowd. We could see we needed a significant number of officers to restore order to the park. Using this vantage point, a plan was quickly developed, and your cops went to work. Now, if we only had the street view, we would not have been able to see, and we wouldn't have not been able to properly assess the situation. But the drones allowed us to deploy quickly, to protect property, and avoid serious injury out there. We have been actively fighting crime with your help. To the foundation, again, thank you. Another example of some of the crime fighting tools that we use were the Apple AirTags and the tiles to combat auto theft. When people place these devices in their vehicle, it enables a location tracking technology that can help us catch thieves and recover the vehicles should they ever be stolen. The Police Foundation has been instrumental in this effort, and I want to thank you for donating more than 1,000 AirTags and tiles to help us combat vehicle theft by providing them to the communities that we serve. Another new piece of technology that has been a real help is the real-time Crime Center Emergency Mobile Response Van. And through the Foundation's generosity, this state-of-the-art vehicle gives our leaders the latest event management technology. Equipped with computer systems and high-resolution monitors, It can display real-time footage from cameras around the 5 boroughs to allow our teams to monitor events as they happen. Working hand in hand with New Yorkers is essential to our mission. And when it comes down to it, it falls on our incredible ability to gather timely and accurate intelligence, to use effective tactics, to be able to rapidly deploy, and to follow up relentlessly. Those are the CompStat principles. Those are the principles we live by. Those are the same principles I learned when I spent my days at the podium in 1PP, getting grilled by the late, great Chief Joe Esposito, the greatest chief of department in the history of the NYPD. And as you all know that we lost Joe this year. And because of what Chief Esposito left for us, no one does it better than New York City Police Department. And in 2024, we will build on that success. We're just getting started. And now I'm going to turn it over so that you can hear about the great work we're doing underground as well, to my good friend, the Chief of Transit.
Welcome to the stage, Chief of Transit, Michael Kemper.
Good morning. It's great to see all of you, to have the opportunity to update you on the amazing work your NYPD officers are doing across our city. From day one of this administration, City Hall has been very clear that public safety is their top priority. And nowhere is that more evident than in the New York City subway system. I don't need to remind anyone about the challenges we faced at the height of the COVID pandemic, especially in our city subway system. Near the end of 2022, we saw a sharp 42% increase in transit crime, and that was totally unacceptable. New Yorkers rightfully expect a safe and orderly transit system. So, city and state leadership, spearheaded by Mayor Adams, laid the groundwork with the subway safety plan, and then doubled down with the cops, cameras, and care program. We deployed more than 1,000 additional officers per day into the subway system. Personnel from every bureau and every rank took part. This was and continues to be a department-wide effort with the full backing of City Hall. We needed to reset the tone in our subway system, not just for law and order, but also for civility and mutual respect amongst our ridership. So that's exactly what we did, and the effects were immediate. We went from a crime increase to a much-needed leveling off, and ultimately reversed the trend with a 2.6% crime reduction just last year. In 2023, we averaged only 6 major crimes per day in the entire subway system. This is real progress, which we plan on continuing as we go forward. And the credit for this goes directly to the men and women of the NYPD, our cops, who are out there in the subway system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. On top of this, ridership has rebounded from just 200,000 riders a day during the pandemic to a daily average of 4 million today. Crime is down, ridership is up, and the largest transit system in the nation is back. With its unique and nuanced way of policing, I can understand why the Transit Bureau was a separate police department up until the mid-1990s. To the people laughing, way to show your ages. Our subway system is essentially a city within a city, with 472 stations in 4 boroughs. There are 600 miles of track where 500 trains are moving once at any given time, carrying millions of people a day. In fact, there are more daily subway riders in our city than the entire population of Los Angeles. But despite its size, less than 2% of New York City crime occurs in the subway system. 6 crimes a day, 4 million riders per day. Think about that. But at the end of the day, while data milestones are important, they never tell the whole story. Look, I can show you the crime reduction numbers, but what do they mean to a person who is afraid to ride our subway system? For many people, perception is reality. This is our challenge. So our goal and our constant focus is for riders to get from point A to point B without being confronted by crime, lawlessness, or disorder, and ultimately, while feeling safe. We fully understand that perception is what dictates ridership and rider behavior, and that is why our highly visible, proactive approach over the last year has been so effective. Every aspect of police work in the subway system has increased dramatically, from quality of life summonses to turnstile enforcement to seizures of weapons such as guns and knives and to criminal arrests. All of this work has been done in close collaboration with our partners at the MTA. Together, we coordinated the expansion of video surveillance coverage, including cameras inside train cars for the first time. And considering that about 50% of all transit crimes occur inside the train, this development was long overdue. And technological advances aren't limited to the surveillance network. We have embraced technology and applied it to long-standing issues both below and above ground. As an example, thrill-seeking behavior, like subway surfing, is not new. But social media and pop culture have fueled this trend amongst our youngest riders, sometimes with deadly results. So, several months ago, FAA-licensed and NYPD trained pilots began launching drones near elevated train lines as part of a new safety initiative to prevent these reckless acts before tragedy strikes. The drone footage you see here, while of tremendous value to prosecutors, is even more valuable as a teaching tool for parents. There is no greater partner in the campaign to end subway surfing than a concerned, informed, and involved parent. Over the years, we've learned that the NYPD can accomplish anything we set out to do. And a major reason for that is the New York City Police Foundation. So again, I want to thank the foundation for all you do. Many of you, I know, are subway riders, including these two. And Susan and Greg, I have you know I checked, you did pay your fare. Good job. I really did check. It is truly appreciated, and it does not go unnoticed. And finally, while there is good news to report from our city subways, this is definitely not a victory lap. We know there's still a lot of work to do, but with the leadership team assembled here, along with all the members of the NYPD, we are in a perfect position to get that work done. On behalf of the men and women of the Transit Bureau, I thank you and be well. And we're now going to turn in our focus to how the NYPD protects this great city, both here and abroad. Thank you.
Welcome to the stage, Deputy Commissioner of Intelligence and Counterterrorism, Rebecca Weiner.
Good morning. The walk-on music, it's always very stirring. So I'm gonna spend the next few minutes with you all talking about the department's international footprint and how vital it is to protecting our city. In today's increasingly complex, interconnected, and contested world, requires the NYPD to maintain a global presence more than ever before. And thanks to the generous support of the New York City Police Foundation, we can do just that. In my 2 decades in the counterterrorism arena, I can't think of a single day that underlines more deeply why we need and why we have an international liaison program than October 7th. I first learned about Hamas's attacks against Israel well before dawn on that morning. I was in Bogota with Mayor Adams and a delegation of officials from City Hall, and we were ready to take a trip to the punishing and infamous Darien Gap to better understand the migrant crisis. In a burst of messages, our Tel Aviv-based liaison, Detective Charlie Benaim, described the rocket barrages and told us what he knew about the attacks underway. My executive officer, Chief John Hart, who had just arrived in southern Israel with a law enforcement delegation, some of you were there, showed me videos of the Iron Dome interceptions from his hotel terrace in Ashdod. And in those initial hours, the significance and the depravity of the attack began to come into focus. The sheer scale of the incident, the wide range of tactics used, the strategic implications of the shock. But one thing was already crystal clear, and that's to understand how what was unfolding in Israel would affect New York City, we would need the kind of constant, real-time information and intelligence that only a forward-deployed liaison could offer. And that's what we've had from Charlie ever since. Hourly updates for the past 117 days from his vantage point embedded with the Israeli National Police. Charlie has helped dozens of people come to and leave the country. He's conducted countless briefings and facilitated visits to the region from government delegations across New York State. Our daily exchanges with Charlie haven't just helped us understand the situation in the Middle East, although they certainly have done that. They've helped us answer what we often refer to as the New York question. How will what's happening over there impact our safety and security here in our city? And as longtime supporter Howard Milstein compellingly explained in an op-ed in the Daily News on January 8th, there's only one way the International Liaison Program can work. Without the foundation, there would be no liaison program, full stop. And without the International Liaison Program, the NYPD would be myopic, resigned to policing the most global and interconnected city in the world without truly seeing beyond our borders. So within hours of that phone call, we were back in New York City and in the midst of responding to the first of more than 600 protests related to the conflict that have taken place here since October 7th. These protests, which have been occurring in cities worldwide, have been at times disruptive, contentious, and often deeply fraught. But our commitment throughout has been very clear: to protect First Amendment freedoms, but to make it understood that we will not tolerate violence, criminality, or disorder. Not since 9/11 has a singular act of terrorism galvanized such a broad array of extremist organizations and actors around the world. October 7th has been a rallying cry and an accelerant for groups ranging from Al-Qaeda to ISIS to Hezbollah to Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps and their proxies, like the Houthis in Yemen who've been disrupting our global supply chains, or the Shia militia groups in Iraq who recently killed 3 of our service members, to white supremacist, neo-Nazi, anti-government, or anarchist groups in the West, and all of those who all of these groups inspire. The resulting onslaught of terrorism propaganda that our intelligence analysts have been tracking continues to capitalize on this post-October 7th momentum. And as terrorism incidents and plot disruptions and threats have materialized all around the world, our liaison officers in Paris, London, The Hague, Madrid, Amman, Abu Dhabi, Doha, and Sydney, all places dealing with this conflict, have been keeping us updated. Whether it was an edged weapons attack in Paris, a plot disruption in Germany, or a violent protest in London, the horrific murder of a Palestinian child in Illinois, or the arrest of a would-be offender in Las Vegas, our networks of partners, international and also our Sentry program, foundation-supported Sentry program, have given us the intelligence and the awareness that we need to stay ahead of threats in our own 5 boroughs. And this backdrop, global backdrop, national backdrop, against which this year's Halloween parade, marathon, Thanksgiving Day parade, Christmas tree lighting, and New Year's Eve took place, offers a critical reminder of how rapidly the terrorism threat environment can change and how constant our ability to counter it must remain. And so answering the New York question has often meant deploying our high visibility critical response command and counterterrorism officers to sensitive locations around the city. We've done this approximately 6,500 times since October 7th, surging specially trained and equipped heavy weapons, K9, Chem-Bio Rad nuclear detection and mitigation teams to venues and events, and there's a team outside this one venue, as well as one of our foundation-supported electronic sniffing K9s. These deployments are equal parts deterrence and reassurance, reminding New Yorkers that public safety for all is non-negotiable. And before I close, I want to return to the Darien Gap. The purpose of our trip there was to better understand the migrant crisis that's been gripping our city for the past 18 months, and a lot more. The roots, the reasons, and the possible remedies. In talking to government officials, or to people running shelters, and to migrants themselves, it became clear that we can't adequately understand the problem or identify opportunities to address it without the same kind of forward-deployed liaison capability that we have in the counterterrorism domain. And so with great gratitude to the Foundation, we're announcing this morning the creation of 2 new liaison posts, one in Bogota and one in Tucson. These posts will help the NYPD address the myriad issues that are coming across our southern border, from guns to drugs to people. And we'll be working with the Colombian National Police in Bogota, as well as the large collection of agencies that make up the International Police Consortium AmeriPol. A seat at AmeriPol will be the 3rd leg in our multilateral policing stool, balancing out our regional presence at Interpol in Lyon, France, and at Europol in The Hague. In Tucson, we're going to be joining a state-of-the-art interagency facility run by Customs and Border Protection that combines state, local, and federal officials. We're quite confident that the relationships that we'll forge and the intelligence that we'll glean will be vital to protecting our city. And I want to take a moment now to recognize one of our 2 posts, Detective Nella Gomez, who's going to be deployed to Bogota in a few weeks. Please join me in a round of applause to her. And to Detective Rolando Rivera, who's currently visiting his future post in Tucson. 2024 is looking to be a challenging and unpredictable year around the world. And while we don't know what's on the horizon, with the Foundation's support and our global footprint and outlook, we're ready to meet whatever comes our way. Now, our work is all about building relationships and connections. And you're now going to hear how the department engages with the media to tell our story. Thank you so much.
So, brother, life is beautiful, brother. Just listen to my voice, brother.
Welcome to the stage, Deputy Commissioner of Public Information, Tariq Shepard.
Shell, you know my music is cooler than Madry's. Come on. Good morning. And thank you to everyone affiliated with the New York City Police Foundation. Thank you especially to the Board of Trustees and to each of you, the Foundation's generous supporters. You are many of our most valuable partners in the NYPD's ongoing mission to make the safest large city in America even safer. In the NYPD's Public Information Office, it's our job to tell the stories of the men and women of this incredible police department to explain and show how NYPD officers positively affect the millions of people we serve each day and night, and to map out how we're all collectively moving New York City forward. It's all about building trust and strengthening relationships. The NYPD's press office is a very busy place, as you might imagine. We're involved in absolutely every aspect of the police department. We must always remain agile and pivot on a moment's notice as circumstances evolve. And in telling the stories of the NYPD, I can say we're reaching a wider audience than ever before. We're creating new and innovative ways to educate and to share information. Transparency is more than just simply releasing information to the public. It's about ensuring that every New Yorker, the people who make up the many diverse cultures reflected throughout our city, can see and hear about all the great work their police officers are doing on their behalf. At the end of the day, it's about granting them full access while helping them understand the inner workings of the police department. So in the press office, we created the Cultural Engagement Unit, which is comprised of multifaceted personnel, some of whom were born outside the United States. This versatile group speaks a variety of languages, from Italian to Spanish, from Mandarin Chinese to Vietnamese, from Arabic to Bengali, from Polish to Russian to Ukrainian. And they communicate daily with a wide variety of foreign language media outlets that in years past had very little, if any, interaction with their police department. Now they can sit down and interview many of our 35,000 cops in their native tongues. As we look further into 2024 and beyond, we're focusing on our various online platforms. Our social media team writes and updates the NYPD's official pages on X, formerly known as Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, and other sites. And we monitor and direct the accounts operating in every one of our police precincts, housing areas, and the Transit Bureau. We also live stream NYPD ceremonies and press conferences so that everybody has the same information at the same time in real time. In order to keep expanding, though, we need to upgrade our equipment, including cameras and microphones. Our creative services team serves the entire police department with videos and graphic designs, and is capable of doing much more. For example, we want to expand our reach with Crime Stoppers, which the foundation already supports with financial rewards for tipsters. We need to build an in-house studio that's suitable for producing broadcasts in a talk show format. And we plan to release soon on YouTube our first regular installment of NYPD's Most Wanted. Further, it's imperative that we renovate and update our press conference space on the second floor of One Police Plaza. Because right now, we're trying to tell this century's stories and last century's press room. The enhancements we're making and the enhancements we want to make are keeping the NYPD ahead of other police departments across the nation and the world. And they're maintaining the NYPD's position as the gold standard in policing. Take a look at this short video to get a glimpse of exactly how we're telling our story and how we're connecting with all the communities we serve.
Another News 4 exclusive at this hour. The urgent race to save a life. A child was clinging to a bridge high above the train tracks in Queens. Take a look. Police say he had just wanted to go out and watch the trains.
Practice makes perfect, because in this job there is no room for error.
New York City is putting more police on the streets as rallies over the Israel-Hamas conflict have been taking place.
I heard the tiger roar when I was like halfway down, and it was definitely a little unnerving.
2 New York cops hailed as heroes tonight for rescuing a blind dog who was trapped in freezing cold water in a pond in Queens.
A new mobile crime unit for the NYPD is dedicated to a detective who lost his life after 9/11.
Well, these puppies and ponies are just some of the NYPD's four-legged partners gracing the pages of the NYPD's Canine and Friends 2024 calendar. Arguably the second best part of the calendar, only to the animals, of course. All of the proceeds directly benefit the Police Foundation programs that work to build bridges with community and make New York City a safer place.
I talk about my journey, starting the New York City Police Department back in 1991, where there weren't a lot of faces that looked like me.
Where's the baby? Where's the baby?
Tonight, newly released body camera video showing a frantic race to save a toddler's life.
Life is beautiful, brother. You're beautiful, brother. Life is beautiful, brother. Just listen to my voice, brother.
Whoa! 3 people have been arrested in connection with an alleged ghost gun operation that was based in an East Harlem daycare.
But in the meantime, the NYPD says they're not taking crime underground lightly. In fact, executives are in the system.
So if something specific were to happen, you can zoom in and get a closer look? Absolutely, and we can communicate, which is the really important part, with the teams. We're going to have a robust uniform presence on the ground.
Officers that you can see, of course officers that you can't see. For an event like this, we're going to pull out all the stops, our drones.
We stopped that train, and we're looking for you.
The department is using drones to spot surfers in real time.
You see him casing the victim.
Buried underground in a hidden location just steps away from rumbling subway trains.
Trying to get behind her, but she moves.
Undercover detectives are learning tricks of the pickpocket trade.
I had to hook my little brother Kaz up and put him in the video. All right. Community connection is at the heart of the NYPD. And now I invite my friend and boss, our first deputy commissioner, to speak about this important work.
Welcome to the stage, First Deputy Commissioner Tanya Kinsella.
Good morning, everyone. Wow, hearing all these initiatives, I have to say I'm so proud. I can see that everyone in this room is genuinely committed to making a difference, and I'm so thankful for that. We're excited to tell you all about our new technology we are bringing to the department. That wouldn't be possible without the help of the Police Foundation, all of you. As you've heard today, the expansion of our drone program gives us a bird's eye view into incidents. But with your support in the upcoming year, I'm excited to announce that our cops will also have a dog-eyes view. The introduction of cameras on our four-legged officers elevates their role to a whole new level. These specially designed cameras will capture crucial moments and provide insight that only a canine can see. This is a major leap forward in modern-day policing, and that is because of all of you. But technology is more than just cameras and drones, more than just enforcement and responding to incidents. Technology brings people together and connects us in ways unimaginable, especially when it comes to our young New Yorkers, the ones raised on smartphones, tablets, remote learning. The Option program uses technology, virtual reality to engage with our city's youth and give them a safe place to grow. This partnership, unlike any other, through the Options program, our goal is to increase dialogue, positive dialogue, and interactions, all while creating meaningful opportunities for them. When we do this, we lay the groundwork to resolve neighborhood disputes and enhance safety for all. Many of you may be familiar with the VR side of this program. These scenarios allow our youth to share different viewpoints and common ground and gain understanding of the decisions with officers. This is the reason why it draws in so many kids, because they are the ones creating the scenarios. They are based off of real life experiences they may face when walking to school, at home, or playing basketball in their neighborhoods. In 2023, the Bronx Wellness Center offered a series of workshops, training programs, internships facilitated by NYPD officers. There were hundreds of music lessons, computer programming classes, video production workshops. But the most important thing this program offered is a pathway to career development, which will bring me to something I'm so pleased to announce to everyone here today, the upcoming expansion of the program. With the support of the foundation, we are in the works of building out the current Bronx Wellness Center to give our youth even more of a place to learn all trades. We've been able to expand on the current property that will serve as a canvas for this exciting adventure. This new area will be a dedicated space where our youth will be exposed to all aspects of construction, from electrical work to painting, sheetrocking, and gaining hands-on experience that a classroom cannot teach. We'll be doing this in partnership with our local labor unions. These unions, known for their expertise, will work hand in hand with our kids. And if a young person shows a passion for a specific trade, we are committed to working with the unions to facilitate their entry into a pre-apprenticeship program. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a big deal. I am also proud to announce the Option Wellness Center will also host a one-of-a-kind video game designed to teach young minds about finances. Even some of us adults need a video game about finances. Working with the foundation and their partners, this simulation game transforms our youth, the way they look at finances, manage their finances. You get to choose a career, make a certain salary, and begin to navigate the twists and turns of life in this game. And what makes it great is that it won't hold back on showing them how to save their money. Consider this a crash course in budgeting. And yes, we promise, we won't show them any mercy. As a Bronx girl myself, raised in a single-parent household, I can't imagine the impact options would have had on my childhood. It's shaping a generation of problem solvers and visionaries. Those are just a few things we're doing with the Options program. I am so proud of all of our hard work that our officers are doing to make this program a success. So now, let's talk about the partnership between the foundation and the New York Giants and the NYPD. I'm talking about the Harlem and Far Rockaway Giants. This program, funded by the foundation, takes connecting with our youth to a whole new level. The program recruits kids who are struggling in school with the universal language of football. They start playing football with our police officers, and then within time, these officers transition into coaches on and off the field. With the help of the New York Giants football team, these young people are able to connect with the pros like Daniel Jones, Darius Slayton, all while creating a personal and motivating bond. Imagine a child's excitement as they interact with their football heroes, all while gaining valuable insight and encouragement. The Giants players also extend their mentorship beyond the field. They visit the kids' schools, not just to play football, but to offer guidance and support in their academic journeys. Their contributions go beyond the field, from purchasing books to motivating them to becoming better students. So thank you to the players. Thank you to the New York Giants organization for your dedication. Now, let's not forget about the 40 kids who were given a unique opportunity this summer, a trip to Camp Fiver in upstate New York. This camp goes beyond the traditional outdoor camp experience. Just as the core mission of the Giants program, it serves as a mentorship. motivating young people to learn the arts and to dream big. The impact of this camp resonates in the lives of these kids, shaping them into aspiring people with limitless potential. But this wouldn't have been possible without your generosity, so we thank you. We are honored today to have a number of our Options and Giants kids here with us today, this morning. Please stand up, my young men and women. Thank you. Now, how do we connect with our communities as a whole? It's not that difficult. It's about being genuine and showing that you care. This past holiday season, we teamed up with the foundation to spread a little holiday cheer to those less fortunate. Our officers were able to deliver approximately 4,000 turkeys to families in need and give away almost 100 new coats. This kind of outreach means so much. And as you see, this is just a glimpse of what our officers are doing for New Yorkers. We believe the heartbeat of the NYPD is in our community connections. Our officers are out there daily, yes, enforcing the law and fighting crime. But more importantly, they are building bridges with our communities. And this is essential for our safety for everyone in every community. This level of community connection does not happen without the Police Foundation. So thank you. Thank you for deeply caring for our city. Your support is appreciated and instrumental in making our community safer and stronger. And as you see from today's speakers, the NYPD has a deep bench of talent, and that's especially true for every member of our executive staff here today. But this agency needs a strong leader to steer the ship. Yes, and that is exactly who Police Commissioner Caban is. It is my complete honor to invite my police commissioner back to the podium.
Thank you, and wow, just amazing stuff. So I think now you understand why today's presentation was a team sport. So much talent, so much passion. We are all very fortunate to have these exceptional leaders looking after the safety and security of New York City. My thanks to Tanya, Jeff, Mike, Rebecca, and Tariq for coming up here and helping to tell the story of the amazing men and women of the NYPD. And as I said before, the support of the people in this room is felt across our bureaus and throughout the department. From the brand new real-time crime center van to the vital importance of Crime Stoppers and Gun Stop, both of which are a force multiplier like none other. Of course, the critical work of our liaison posts has proven even more vital as turmoil in the world continues to ripple through New York City. And I want to acknowledge Rebecca for putting fresh eyes on our emerging threat stream and advocating for some adjustments to our liaison posts. And of course, the Century Conference here in New York continues to be the premier network of law enforcement agencies working to thwart terrorism. And those vital partnerships are only growing stronger thanks to the foundation. When it comes to the children of New York City, our first Deputy Commissioner, Tanya Kinsella, captured the passion and progress happening on their behalf thanks to the foundation. From Brooklyn to the Bronx, there is real change occurring and real results coming from our community centers and programs like Options. As Police Commissioner, I can't tell you how fortunate I am to have more good news to share than there is time to share it. Deputy Commissioner Shepard lives that reality every day with more good stories than he can ever get out to the press. But for all the positive stories that do make it to the media, I want to say thanks to those who pull the levers to make that happen. from the staff at DCPI to the reporters, producers, and editors that play a vital role in each story. We all know that perception is reality, and there is no shortage of negativity around policing. So it's very much appreciated when a good story comes to light. And thanks to the foundation, we were able to tell our story on one of the biggest stages in the world. We rang in the new year on a billboard in Times Square, making the work of your NYPD known far and wide. Nobody deserves that recognition more than our cops. And I want to thank you all for making that special moment happen. In closing, the NYPD and this administration intends to do even more in 2024. We will keep working on behalf of every New Yorker. We will keep addressing crime and quality of life issues. We will continue to do our part protecting the homeland. We will continue to drive innovation through new technologies. And together, we will all make New York City better today than it is tomorrow. Once again, thank you all so much for everything you do. And to all of New York's finest who go in harm's way, may God bless you and please stay safe.
And thank you, Commissioner Caban. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the person who helps make all this possible, the president and the CEO of the New York City Police Foundation, Susan Birbaum.
Good morning. Thank you so much to Commissioner Caban and your team for the incredible presentation this morning. We hear your message loud and clear. The NYPD is out there every day working to keep New York City safe and making incredible progress during very challenging times. The Board of Trustees of the New York City Police Foundation and all of our guests here today also have a message for you. We appreciate you, we support you, and we thank you. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and our leader and chairman, Dr. Phil Oswa, who also helped sponsor this morning's breakfast, thank you very much, Bill. I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. To Mayor Adams for all you do to support our police and our great city. And to all of our guests, I'd like to give special thanks to the foundation staff, especially shout out to Taylor Kahn and Dana Ferraro, as well as Bob Barrows and the creative services team at the NYPD. And lastly, we're out of time, so no questions today, but I want to invite everybody, please, to join us on June 6th at our annual gala, which will take place on the Intrepid, where we have the opportunity to honor the New York Giants and to support and celebrate the dedication of the men and women of the NYPD. Thank you for joining us, and have a good day. Thank you.